Hello, my name is Morgan. I'm a registered yoga teacher and an avid reader. In my classes, I like to infuse the themes from the books I'm currently reading with the physical asana practice. This week's class theme comes from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The power of now calls the reader to remain in the present, to end pain and fear through detachment from the ego, and to separate the mind from the true self. The author guides the reader to spiritual enlightenment through the path of surrender, ending with the question, how will I know when I have surrendered? When you no longer need to ask the question. Thank you for being here. Let's begin in child's pose. Place toes to touch at the back of your mat. Knees can be either wide or in close to your chest. Fingertips reach long, and gently place your forehead on the mat. Begin to notice how you feel right now, in this present moment. Not how your body felt before class, or how you're anticipating your body to feel after class. How your body feels right now. Do you hold any areas of tension? Let them go. Begin to notice the breath, not changing anything, just noticing. What is the energy like that flows in with your inhale and out with your exhale? Now we'll begin to regulate the breath, evening the inhales and the exhales, both in quality and in duration. Continue this breath throughout your practice. If you lose your breath, come back here to a child's pose or any pose of your choice to reconnect with your breath. On your next inhale, rise up into tabletop position, shoulders over your wrists, knees under your hips. We'll lift into a high plank pose, hugging in the core. Hold here with your focus on the present moment, not worrying about what comes next. Inhale to lift your right foot off the mat, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Drop your right foot, same thing, left side. Inhale to lift. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale to re-extend. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. High plank. Hold. Stay here. Breathe. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Ground down through your fingers and your toes. Maybe pedal out your feet a little bit if that feels good to you. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, feet tiptoe to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up tall, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. Here we'll state our intention. I have a quote from The Power of Now. It says, realize deeply that the present moment is all you really have. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back, high plank. Lift your hips for downward facing dog. One round of breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up strong. Exhale, pull your arms through center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into your high plank. Stay present. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, feet come to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Surprise, I got y'all. Don't allow your mind to be consumed with what comes next. Stay in the present moment. Tolle says that waiting is a state of mind. It means that you want the future. You don't want the present. We're not waiting here in chair pose. We're experiencing and enjoying being in a present, even this very long hold. Release, fingers to the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step back into your high plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, pull it through, warrior one. Rise up on an inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into high plank. Come through downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Pull forward and rise up on your inhale. Strong warrior one. Exhale to plant your hands. Step back into your high plank. Find downward facing dog. Stay here, using the breath to keep you in the present. Walk your toes towards the top of your mat. Inch your feet apart and grab a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers, your second and third fingers. Find a soft bend in your knees. Pull your elbows outwards to fold your torso in towards your thighs. Stay here in this glorious fold. Use your inhales to lengthen and your exhales to deepen the stretch. Release your grip, and we'll place the palms of the hands underneath the feet. As with Padusasana and Padasasana, we'll pull the elbows wide and fold the torso in towards the body. Allowing the full body to release, dropping the head and the neck. Release the grip of your hands, rise up, halfway lift. We'll prepare for Malasana squat. Heels in, toes out. Hands can come to heart center. Squat down the elbows, finding the inner knees. Chest shines forward. You have the option here to use a block. Place the block underneath your seat and slowly lower till you reach your block. This is a great option to bring the mat a little closer to you for anyone who has any sort of knee pain or hip pain. We'll stay here, remembering that just as the moon has no light of its own, but can reflect the light of the sun, so are past and present only pale reflections of the light, power, and reality of the eternal present. Place the fingertips on the mat, lift up, removing a block if you have one. Coming back into a forward fold, the top of your mat. Step back into your high plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Reconnect with your breath, finding an inhale and an exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, pull it forward. Mindful transitions. Rise up into warrior two. Right knee is bent. Left leg is straight. Left toes pointing to the edges of your mat. Flip your right palm. Come into reverse warrior. Your left fingertips walk down your left leg. Breathe into your right side body. Inhale to lengthen your right leg for a reverse triangle. Exhale, we'll bump the hips back, reach the right arm forward to come into triangle pose. You always have the option to use a block to bring the mat closer to you. This helps to facilitate increased expansion through the chest. Rise up, pointing both sets of toes towards the left side of your mat. Inhale, rise up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Stay here. Allow yourself to have rest. Find some playful movement if that serves you, or stay in stillness. Slowly begin to rise up. Turn your heels in, toes out, to prepare for goddess squat. Hands can come to heart center, and we lower, just as we did in Malasana squat. If your mind has wandered off into the past or future, smile at it and return to the present. Lift your arms, straighten your legs, and turn to face the top of your mat. Hands plant and we step back into high plank. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Find downward facing dog, taking a round of breath. Inhale to lift the left leg to the sky, and slowly, with control, bring it forward to the top of your mat. Open up for warrior two. Not worrying if it's the same as it was on your other side, or focused on the now, the present, this pose. Flip your left palm to come into reverse warrior. Feel that side body stretch on the left side, gazing at your left fingertips. Allow your left knee to straighten for a reverse triangle. Send the hips back and the fingertips forward for triangle pose. You have the option to add a block for your triangle pose if you wish. Begin to rise up with intention. Point your toes to the right side of your mat. Maybe reach your arms overhead and find a forward fold. Allow yourself to let go, completely surrender. You have the option to find playful movement, inversions, anything that calls to you in this moment. Be safe and be kind to your body. Place your hands on your hips. Slowly rise up halfway, then all the way to a full stand. Goddess squat, heels in, toes out, palms to heart center. Sink down low, and we stay, knowing we have discomfort, but breathing and staying in the present moment to overcome it. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to rise. Exhale, plant your hands on the top of your mat. Step back to high plank pose. Allow yourself to sink back into a child's pose, finding peace and silence after the hard work that you've just put in. Stay present and vigilant, even in your relaxation, focusing the mind on the present. Plant the forearms on the mat, rising up into a forearm plank, tucking the toes, hugging in the core, hip bones in towards the armpits. Stay. Lift your hips and walk your toes in. Find dolphin pose. This pose provides plenty of discomfort. Take this as an opportunity to focus on the breath and in the present moment. Slowly allow your knees to release down onto the mat. Maybe walk your knees back a little bit to give yourself some room, then lower into puppy pose. Fingers outstretched to the corners of your mat, chin resting on the mat. This heart opener is an excellent counter to dolphin pose. Notice how your breath feels as you inhale and exhale deeply. Inhale to find expansion. Exhale to sink a little deeper into your stretch. Rise back up through tabletop. We'll prepare for Ustrasana, camel pose. Shoulders stacked over the hips, over the knees. Toes tucked or feet placed on the mat. Place your hands on your back as if you're putting them in pockets. Let's engage the quads, lift the chest, and slowly begin to take our camel up and back. Maybe reaching the fingertips towards the heels or the ankles, allowing the head and the neck to fully release. Keeping the breath while in this posture. Slowly rise up, planting the hands on the low back. Head and neck are last to rise. Come through tabletop to find lizard lunge on the right side. Making a right angle with your right knee, maybe inching your left knee back a little bit on your mat to find that deep hip flexor stretch. The option to floss a little bit through this hip or to find stillness. As always, you can find a block if you need to bring the mat closer to you, resting the forearms on the block or on the mat if that is what you choose. It doesn't make you a better yogi if you can place your forearms on the mat. Meet your body where it is right now. We'll meet with palms on the mat. Bend your left knee and reach back with your right arm. You also have the option to find a dragonfly twist, either with your left knee on the mat or by tucking your toes and lifting your left leg off of the mat. Place both hands on the mat and lower your left knee. Then we'll find a half split, or Hanuman Asana, sitting back on our left leg, right leg outstretched. Chest folds forward over the right leg, curling the toes in towards the nose. Stay here and breathe before coming forward through tabletop into the other side. Left foot plants firmly on the outside of the left hand. Maybe your right knee inches back to give you a little more space. Avoid letting the mind go back to that right side. Give all your attention to this present posture. You have the option to come down onto your forearms or to use a block to create extra space. Stay here. Breathe in and out through your nose. Plant both hands on the mat. This time, we'll bend the right knee and send the left arm back behind it to capture it. Open up through your chest. Next, I'll offer dragonfly twist, releasing your grip and opening up to the left side. Leaving the right knee on the mat, or tucking the toes and lifting the knee. Breathe to stay and lower. Sending the hips back, left leg outstretched for Hanumanasana on the left side. Sit up tall and then fold forward, flexing your foot. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold deeper into your half split. Slowly rise back up. You have the option to come through an easy seat and swing your legs around before coming fully onto your back. Bring a block with you if you have one. Lie fully on your back, lifting your legs in a 90-degree angle for waterfall. Here is your block option. You can place a block underneath your sacrum in a place that feels comfortable and re-extend your legs. This gives a little bit more leverage in this inversion, allowing the blood to flow towards the heart, the lungs, and the brain. Allow yourself to let go, but remain here in this present moment. Maybe find plow pose, removing the block and lifting your hips over your shoulders, grounding through your upper arms and descending your toes behind your head. Even at this part of practice, our breath is the most important thing that we have. It keeps us grounded. It keeps us here in the present. Maybe your toes touch the ground above your head. Maybe they don't. With control, slowly lower your spine all the way onto the mat, followed by your legs. Walk your heels in so they're flat on the mat. We'll find figure 4 with the right leg, placing the right ankle over the right knee and grasping behind the left hamstring. If your mind has floated elsewhere, return it to the present. Allow your legs to fall as they are over to the left side, outstretching your right arm and gazing at your right fingertips. Feeling the rinse of this spinal twist. Notice the breath as it travels through the side body. Return to center and lower your right foot to the mat. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Left ankle over your right knee. Before finding your twist to the right, allowing your legs to stay the same, stretching your left arm wide, following it with your gaze. Maybe you allow your eyes to close or your gaze to become soft as we wind down our practice today. Continuing to focus on our breath even in these last few moments. Return your knees to center. Lower both feet onto the mat, and then stretch your feet long, preparing for your final resting posture. Get out any last wiggles. We release control over the breath, finding a natural cadence and depth. Allow yourself to settle and surrender into your Savasana. During our meditation time today, we'll be practicing a meditation offered in the power of now. Becoming a present observer of the mind, having vigilance over the thoughts. Asking yourself, what will my next thought be? And watching for it to arise. Maybe you made it 10 seconds before having a thought, or 20, or 30. Let's begin again, observing and watching for the next thought to arise over the next minute. Like yoga, having constant presence and being vigilant over the mind takes practice. And as you continue to practice, you may watch as your thoughts take longer and longer to arise during this meditation. Make your way to a comfortable seat at the front of your mat. If you read or already have read The Power of Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining me for class today. I bow to you as you bow to me, as together we say, Namaste.